Kohli. Dhoni. Dhoni. ಈ ಸಲ ಕಪ್ಪು ನಮ್ದೇ. ಕಲಂ
It's that time of the year again. The rivalry that sets the cricketing world on fire. CSK versus RCB, yellow versus red. The five-time champions versus the eternal challengers. I don't know what to call the zero trophies or eternal challengers. That's why I'm calling them eternal challengers. And this time there's a twist. There are new leaders, there are new matchups, and there is Ruturaj's fireworks, Kohli's anchor role, Rachin Ravindra's steady hand, and RCB's spin puzzle. It's all building up to an absolute blockbuster at Chepauk. But here's the real question. Will RCB finally break their Chennai curse, or will CSK's fortress stand strong? From Dhoni's lightning stumping, 0.12 seconds, that was a figure. From power-packed batting duels to strategic spin battles, this video has it all. Stay with us till we break down the biggest talking points, key battles, and everything you need to know before the much-awaited clash. Ruturaj gave an early boost to CSK against MI, but it was Rachin Ravindra's calm, composed innings that took them past the finish line. And with CSK experimenting by not opening with Ruturaj, Rahul Tripathi opened for CSK surprisingly. Does this mean Rachin Ravindra is now the next most dependable batter for CSK? Because they haven't even chosen Devon Conway, they have moved on from Devon Conway and chosen Rachin Ravindra ahead. And if CSK sticks to this batting order and holds Rutu back and plays him at one down, does this mean that CSK is not going to accelerate in the power play? Because we saw that Ruturaj is playing at 200 plus. And I haven't seen a player who plays so aesthetically at a 200 plus strike rate. Because when you see batters batting at a 200 plus strike rate, you just see them swinging their bats here and there. But Ruturaj was placing it so beautifully against Mumbai Indians. And on the other hand, RCB has their own anchor, Virat Kohli. If he gets going, can he finally guide RCB to a rare win at Chepauk? Or will CSK's spin bowlers shut him down?
So let me go first, right? I think, this whole batting position of Ruturaj Gaikwad and Rahul Tripathi, to me, right, I think what's going to happen is you're going to have Rahul Tripathi be a floater. So he's going to play that, what I usually call the auxiliary batsman. Because Rahul can play at any position, right? He could open, he could go one down, he could go two down. I think depending on the circumstances, depending on the opposition we play, you're probably going to see Rahul Tripathi move up and down. So I don't think it's going to be one batting order. I think you will see in some matches, depending on if we play first, you might actually see Ritu coming in ahead of Rahul Tripathi. But if we are sort of chasing a total and we know what the conditions are, like yesterday, right, it was pretty obvious that the wicket is going to turn. It's going to assist the spinners. So you wanted a batsman to come in and really go berserk with the, it didn't happen, but the idea was go and do a pinch hitting right at the top of the faster bowlers and get the run rate up. So that is why Rahul Tripathi was sent up. So I think it's going to be horses for courses, depending on the circumstances, depending on the wicket and the opposition. But I sort of like that, right? I mean, it allows us to be a little more agile in the top order. It gives us a different sort of unpredictability that, teams cannot plan for. And Rutu playing one down also gives us a bit of solidity, right? And you got to imagine that our top order is a bit new, right? Huda, they're all sort of new, so they will need time to, integrate. That's the same for our bowlers, right? Like, we'll talk about it later. So you got to give them the benefit of, doubt initially just to get players the feel of the, conditions and the, and the opposition. And I think as we go progressively towards the back end of the tournament, you're going to see more stable batting order. But I sort of like that. Do you think Virat Kohli is going to make a difference? Like Virat is in the form of his life, right, at the moment. So you're obviously going to expect him to bat well. And RCB always bats well, right? Their problem has been bowling. So is this the best chance Virat and RCB have of changing their fortunes at Chepauk? I believe so. I think this will be the match that they'll target to win. Why? Because CSK is still raw. They're still new. Their composition is still not very clear. So this is the best opportunity they've got. If they don't win this, I mean, they can be forever challengers forever.
Okay, so in my opinion, instead of just asking like if Rachin is now CSK's most dependable batter, there's another question which goes in my mind, and that's like, is CSK quietly transforming from Rituraj as their batting mainstay to Rachin? And the answer is yes. See, now Rituraj holds that captaincy position, and I think in the coming years it will be very easy for him if Rachin bats top the order and with stability. So I think in the coming years, when Ruturaj won't be having Dhoni or any other senior player in the middle order, so he can play that role also. So he's quietly transforming Rachin for that role, and that's a very good sign for CSK as well. The other good thing is Rituraj has that experience of playing in the IPL. He can play as an opener, he can play one down, he can play two down, and with the captaincy on his head, like Dhoni used to do. He used to bat at four, also he used to bat at five. So that's the mindset. Kohli has been the mainstay for RCB for years. He has played for all these 15, 16 years. But now he's opening. And after quitting the international T20 cricket, what I can see is he's very passionate to play in the IPL also, and he's playing with a free mind. And it's just one game. Maybe in 2, 3 games, what we can see is Tripathi is out and Rituraj and Rachin are playing. And everybody knows the type of players these two are. The first thing is a right-handy and a left-handy combo. It can be dangerous for any team. The second and the most important thing is if they play slow at a particular point of time, they can take the game away from the opposition. They can start attacking also. So that's the type of tempo that these two players carry.
And it's not just in the IPL, right? We have seen Ruturaj Gaikwad tweak up his batting position even for Maharashtra in SMAT and in first class cricket. So I think he
Correct.
has that skill in him to bat at different positions. Okay, and quickly going to the second question. We know that Chennai is like a track made for spinners, and both teams have their weapons. But who has the stronger arsenal? CSK relies on Ashwin and Jadeja, yet they weren't the best in the last game against Mumbai Indians. Meanwhile, RCB's Krunal Pandya impressed with 3 wickets at an economy of 7.25, and Suyash Sharma leaked runs at an economy of 11.75 and picked only 1 wicket. And let's not forget Noor Ahmad, right? He had a dream spell of 4 wickets at an economy rate of only 4.5. That said, while spin will be key, early breakthroughs can change the course of the game. Khaleel Ahmed was lethal with the new ball against MI. He picked up the wickets of Rohit Sharma in the very first over. Not just Rohit Sharma, right? He picked 3 wickets at an economy of 7.25, which is not bad since it's the first game for him at CSK. And with someone like Josh Hazlewood for RCB, who thrives on accuracy, could the pace attack set the tone before spin takes over in the next match?
I was looking at the RCB match, right? The first match, and I was looking at their bowling figures. We know RCB's weakness is bowling, right? And we all know that they have not done much in the auction to really address that. If you sort of break it down, yes, Josh Hazlewood was consistently best. Like he bowled the right line and length, and you would expect this from a Josh Hazlewood, right? This is what you get from him, right? Predictable, 4 overs, 24, 1 or 2 wickets, done, right? Now, any opposition that's playing RCB would know that. So you don't take your chances with Josh unless he bowls real bad balls. But you sort of get his overs done, you score 6 runs an over, and you're done. If you look at the rest of the crew, Yash Dayal was expensive. Suyash Sharma always is expensive because he doesn't have control over his, his flight and his length.
Yeah.
Krunal Pandya was a surprise. I think Kolkata Knight Riders misjudged him. They tried to go after everyone too soon because probably Rahane was timing it so well, they thought everybody could time it. But in reality, if they had played Krunal Pandya was not really effective, right? I think all the wickets that he got, in my view, where batsmen's mistakes were not his really bowling in tactics. So you could have pretty much slaughtered that bowling attack, right? If you leave Josh Hazlewood out, you could have scored 12 runs an over of every single bowler, which is what you would expect from an RCB team. So one bowler will bowl well and everyone will lead 12 runs an over, right? If KKR had done that, no matter what Kohli's form was, they would have lost the match. So in my view, it is not like they look suddenly strong or lethal. If CSK plays their cards right, you see a score of 200 plus easy, even if it's a slightly turning track in Chepauk, right? So I think that's what they would try and do. They would try and put pressure on the other bowlers. They'll keep Josh Hazlewood at bay, and they will go after, like, I don't care if it's Krunal Pandya, he will be decimated next match.
Yeah, I would like to chip in with my opinion. First of all, I would like to tell you that IPL has released a new rule regarding 2 new balls per innings. So it automatically brings spin into play, which we saw in the first game between KKR and RCB, where spinners came into play, like Krunal Pandya coming in and picking up wickets, and also Livingston bowled with a lot of control. Hazlewood was also really good in the initial phase and as well as in the ending phase of the innings. Same happened in the CSK game as well. First, the fast bowler Khaleel picked up wickets up front, and then Mumbai players got into control with the bat. Again, CSK spinners came into party. Noor Ahmad picking up 4 wickets. So this rule change is definitely going to make matches equal, and spinners will definitely come into play in the latter half of every innings. Talking about CSK, I think you talked about Ashwin and Jadeja's ordinary games, but see, their experience will definitely be key for CSK at least for the next 1 or 2 years. They will definitely come to the party, and CSK's pitch in Chepauk is definitely going to suit them. And Ashwin and Jadeja, with their experience and all these years of playing matches in Chepauk, be it IPL or Test cricket or ODI cricket, they will definitely pull up their socks and put up good performances. Coming to RCB's point of view, Krunal Pandya has shown some signs of improvement and to at run paradise like Eden Gardens, but he will definitely have a good say in Chepauk if he bowls with the same control he bowled in Eden. And coming to Suyash, I don't think Suyash is a long-term solution for RCB. I think they can even try out Swapnil Singh, who bowled very well in Bengaluru between the same 2 teams in the do-or-die game last season. So I think they could give him a try, and maybe he could chip in with wickets and give RCB that extra spinning support along with Krunal Pandya.
See, mark my words, right? RCB is going to concede a lot of runs. I don't think that's going to change. Their batsmen have to save them the game. The question is, how long will Kohli perform to save them the games? That will decide whether they are, they chase the trophies or they chase nothing, right? For me, like in Chennai, we call this like tokku, right? RCB is tokku for batsmen. Like you can go there and you can get your form back.
Yeah, you had a question like CSK struggles against new spinners, right? Like Markande or Vignesh Puttur. RCB doesn't have any new spinners. Everyone are old, and definitely CSK will smack them out.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share one fact here. I think that was the year 2018. And Chennai, they struggle against some leg spinners. So if Suyash Sharma joins that party, like what we have seen in Eden Gardens, the first ball against Andre Russell for a boundary, and the next ball is gone. And that's what needed. When you play in Chennai, forget about everything and just take control over the spin. That's it. That's the basic idea.
CSK's batters bat with a lot more control. They are not like Andre Russell, just blindly slugging all the deliveries like
Correct.
at Eden Gardens highways.
Yeah.
We'll say that on 28.
Okay. And had it not been for the last few sixes from Rachin Ravindra, we might have seen another nail-biting finish. One that could have swung either in the way of Mumbai Indians or with CSK. And that brings me to MS Dhoni's role. Where does he walk to bat? And for me personally, CSK's whole balance, CSK's whole batting lineup is made in such a way that MS Dhoni can bat down the order. And that's why we see all-rounders coming up, right? You see Sam Curran playing up, you see Ravindra Jadeja playing up, and you might as well see Ashwin playing up if CSK get bundled out early. So what do you think about this?
Look, I understand, right? Last game was a bit close to our liking. We could have won it much more easily. But you also have to remember it's, Mumbai Indians, right? They've had a good auction. They've got some good players. Of course, the left arm wrist spinner was a surprise. I didn't expect him to bowl that well. But it's a close game, right? And if anybody had predicted the match before the toss, I think all of us would have said it'll be a close match. I know it's probably, looking back, it tells you that, we could have done it much better, but it is what it is. I think that's fine. We won it, so I'm happy, right? It doesn't matter how we won it. Regarding Dhoni's role, I think that's going to be the tricky one that we all have to get used to this season, right? I don't know if Dhoni sees himself as somebody who can actually play the role that he used to play before anymore, right? Now, you saw the value of Dhoni on the ground, right? You saw his stumping. He pretty much got a wicket out of nothing, right? And, you can see him mentoring Ruturaj, giving him advices, giving the bowlers, Noor Ahmad, a lot of tips. So that's the value of Dhoni, right? Is he going to be as competent with the bat as he was before? I don't know. Maybe he'll come good later. But to me, that whole idea of preserving Dhoni till the end, letting the others get a knock, right, and sort of figure out their game plan, was a good idea, right? And you'd rather do it early in the season than do it late in the season, right? So I think it's a good ploy. Dhoni can always like if you have to back Dhoni, you back Dhoni anytime, right? So probably that's a ploy, right? Give everybody a chance, get them to sort of get a knock in, and then figure out as we go through the season where should Dhoni play.
What I could sense was like when spinners were bowling, they were bowling with so much confidence. Even if you ask these bowlers to bowl on a pitch, on a flat pitch, and just keep MS Dhoni behind the stumps. We have seen Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal doing it for India, and that's for a long period of time. Even Kedar Jadhav used to come in the middle overs and bowl some good overs. So it's not about the type of player Dhoni is, the type of mentor he is. We need to talk about that. The other thing is, if we talk about the batting role, see, MS Dhoni doesn't have an international future as of now. So what Chennai wants to do is they want their batters to take that pressure, to take that responsibility. Everybody knows that if there is a slight chance where they are missing on a particular day, MS Dhoni is there to save. And we have seen him doing it this for Chennai as well as for India for a number of times. The experience which he has. Like I could remember one game, it was like CSK versus RCB. And it was like what 30 for 4 or 29 for 4. MS Dhoni came in, did a partnership with Ambati Raidu, changed the match. So that's what the experience is. And on the other hand, a lot of young players who are playing in the middle order, especially Shivam Dubey, Deepak Hooda, they must understand their importance and they must understand what type of role they are playing. These are the roles which Dhoni, Rana used to play in their time. So they have to take that responsibility. They have to work upon them on the mental state as well. I don't think Deepak Hooda had that intention of playing that shot. That was just a useless shot. Definitely that was not needed at that point of time. So these are the things which will change with the course of time. And MS Dhoni is there to help them with all these things.
And here's my last question. RCB's record in Chennai is disastrous. The last time they won in Chepauk is way back in 2008, before Kohli even made his international debut. That's 16 years of heartbreak, 16 years of drought. But with Kohli and Rajat Patidar as their batting anchors, can they finally break the curse? Or will Chennai spinners haunt them once again?
Like I said, right, I think there is an opportunity. I think this is a moment where they can actually believe that they can go win because every team is still settling in. You would rather play CSK early than late in any season because once they figure out their combination and once people get into the groove, it's very hard to beat them on home ground. The RCB has to walk to Chennai and believe that they can actually win. Their batting will come good no matter what the condition is because they've got horses for courses. Kohli is a good player of spin. Obviously, Kohli gives them the dynamism on the top. Will Jacks is a brilliant player. And then you've got obviously the other firepower within the team. So they've got to believe that they can win, right? So that's the first thing, right? Second is, I think it's going to depend on the toss, like how, what happens. Because if RCB bats first and they score a 200 plus, which they can, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Chennai to be able to chase that down because to Ayush's point earlier, we still do not have the role sorted, right, in the team, right? Now, where does Ruturaj Gaikwad play? Does he open? If it's 200 plus total, I would expect Ruturaj Gaikwad to open. Now, what happens then to the middle order? Like, is Deepak Hooda really, can he step up and perform? What's the finishing? Who finishes? I think that's the other dilemma. We spoke about it at the, in one of the previous reviews. That's got to be CSK's biggest problem, right? If you look at the last match, they're either looking at a Sam Curran or a Jadeja to be the finisher. Can they come good? So there's going to be a lot of question marks. So in my view, RCB should come to Chennai believing that they can win. This is their moment. They got to trust their ability to bat the opposition out. They are going to leak runs on bowling, so they've got to be prepared for it. But if they win the toss and bat first, they've got a great chance.
Yeah, RCB also have really good batters who bat well against spin. I think so. You can take the example of Virat Kohli. You can take Rajat Patidar. I think Rajat Patidar has been really good against spin in the last few years. So I think he might be key to RCB's successes, especially at Chennai. So I think the way they counter the Chennai spinners, it will be very key for them to win this game, just like Mr. Sudarshan said. And what I would say is the batsmen have to be well equipped and they need to come pretty much prepared in order to face Chennai. I think it's not easy winning against Chennai over here in Chepauk. So I think they have not been able to do it for these many years, last 17 years. So the head-to-head record is 8-1 in favor of CSK. So I think to overturn this, it would take a monumental effort. And I think RCB will have to be on the top of their game in order to overturn this. But in my opinion, I feel this record is only going to increase in Chennai's favor. I think they'll make it 9-1. So Chennai need not work that much hard, I think, to keep up that record against RCB. I think it's very pretty much easy. I feel.
On the contrary, right? If I was Chennai, I would actually look at this match and say, okay, what's my biggest weakness right now, right? My weakness is my batting. Hot home conditions, I've got to get them into form. They'll be licking their hands to say, okay, RCB is the team I want to play because every bowler there is a Tokku barring Hazlewood. So you would actually want to play RCB to get you back into form, and that's what CSK would be looking at. So it's going to be a good match. Both have their reasons to believe they'll win. Let's see who wins.
I just want to add a few points to this. In the post-match presentation yesterday, Surya Kumar mentioned that the wicket was a sticky right till the end. So I think if RCB does a proper homework and if they get the bowlers aligned and if they come up with a good plan, I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar can play a good role. The spinners have to just back themselves. If they does the proper homework, they will come very strong against Chennai, and definitely this game is gonna be in RCB's favor. Josh Hazelwood and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, if they play in the mix, definitely 8 overs, fantastic spell, and I think RCB will come stronger this time.
You are just underestimating the power of the balance 12 overs. Even if you assume Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowls well, there's still 12 overs where they can leak like 15 runs an over. So
Correct.
never be surprised by RCB. They can do the impossible. They can make that possible with their bowling.
Will Nama RCB break their jinx in Chepauk, or will Talaivar Dhoni's Super Kings prove once again why Whistle Podu echoes the loudest in Chepauk? So let's wait and watch. Let's see who wins this.
Nama Bengaluru!
I can't whistle on this call, so it's okay.